Good morning, everyone. So, this is just going to be following up on my video from yesterday. So, if you have not seen that one, please go back and watch that if you are interested in learning more about an employee. So, today, me and Barry on the mic over here are going to be talking about interviewing. So, interviewing is very important. So, the reason why it's very important, and I'm sure people watching this are going to say, well, yeah, it's important how you do it and everything else. But the thing that people miss is the interview questions. So if you have good interview questions, you can really determine the quality of the person you're getting. And the other thing is that you would think, because if this is your first time watching me, I used to work at a Fortune 100 company. I used to be a supply chain operations manager, and I used to do all the hiring. So, a lot of times, my bosses, they would sit in on my interviews, and they would say, "Oh, that guy was a good candidate," and I would say, "No, he's not," because they did not understand how to hire. And the reason why is they think that, oh, well, he's got a great resume. Or they think, oh, that's a terrible candidate because he has a terrible resume. Now, a resume is great. I think that having a resume gives me a good indicator of who you are. So let's say that you are someone who has had two jobs their entire life and now you're 28. And so you've been at those jobs forever. And you had promoted a couple times in those other jobs, but the pay just wasn't as good as the job you're looking to get from me. Then I know that you're someone who's going to be loyal if I can make sure what you liked about those jobs. So what I would do is I would look at your resume, and if you had been at those jobs for a long time, I would say, "Hey, I see that you've been at these two jobs for an extended amount of time. What makes you what has you in the market looking for a new opportunity?" And if they said something along the lines of, "Yeah, I love my job now. I love the environment. I love the people, but I'm really looking for more pay, and they just can't fulfill that." And the job is similar. So let's say, going back to me at a warehouse, is being the supply chain operations manager. I remember hiring this guy who he was basically a dock manager at a warehouse, and he at another warehouse, and he was looking to get a job from me. And I asked him that question. He said, the owners of the business love me. They give me full reign of everything there because I do a great job. I've been there for 7 years, but I really want to work here because the pay is better, and I think I can really promote and be an asset to this company. And because it's basically job for job, I immediately said, okay, that makes sense to me, and I don't have to go through as many questions based off of the resume. Now, on the flip side, if they've had 9 jobs in the past 9 months, then that's probably somebody I'm not going to hire, and I really don't have to go through all the interview questions just strictly because they haven't shown, even in the resume, that they can stay with something long term. And that's something that, if you're out there and you're watching this and you're an employee on either side of this resume flip, just be aware, if you're someone who's having a hard time staying at a job, if you want to get a better job, then you really need to just stick it out somewhere. You need to do the best you can. You need to be a good steward of whatever job you have. That way you can get another job, a better job, a better paying job, a job you really want. So just to kind of finish this one up, is you want to ask questions that are more open-ended. Ask questions along the lines of, how far, or, hey, how was the drive in today? And where are you coming from? Because that seems very nonchalant. But when you ask that question, you're going to learn how far they are driving every day. So if they have an hour drive every day, you can just imagine that there's going to be days where they're going to be late. And really, then you can figure out, if you ask them why they're in the market for a new opportunity, you can figure out basically what it is that they're looking for right now. And you want to make sure that you don't tell them really the prerequisites for the job. You don't want to give them every detail for the job and say, how does that sound? Because everyone's going to say that sounds good if they're looking for more money. But if you just say, So what is your ideal working situation here? And if they say, well, I hate filing paperwork, it's probably my least favorite thing ever, and you're looking to hire them to be a clerk that files paperwork, then most likely that's not going to be a good fit because you're going to be almost torturing them every day. So you just really want to find the people by asking more open-ended questions, not giving them a full declarative statement about what the job is. Doing those things will make it to where you can really diagnose who that person is on the other side. And that's really important. And the third thing, as I close it out, is just this is one that's the hardest thing is read their body language. How did they show up to the interview? Did they show up dressed nicely, or did they show up in shorts and a t-shirt? Are they sitting back like this the whole time, or are they attentively looking at you? Because that shows to me that body language reads a lot more than how good their resume is. Reads a lot more than anything else. That one meant a lot to me, and it made me hire some really, really good people. Because I remember one guy, he had a very strong handshake, but he would just sat up the whole time and, well, sir, this is why I'm looking to get this job, or, well, sir, this is the things that have happened, and, well, sir, this is how I feel about the job. I know a little bit about it, and, yada, 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 and he had done his own research. Let me ask you, if you don't mind, can I ask a question? So I heard online that there's some things that happened. Is this true? And for me, I'm not offended that he went and did research. That's great. Him doing the research showed me that he really was interested in the job. He wasn't just some random dude off the street who saw the price of how much they get paid per hour and said, oh, I want that job. So just pay attention to body language, and that's how I'm going to finish it out. I want to thank you guys for watching this. We went a little bit over our 5 minutes today, but it's all right. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like. Consider subscribing since I do post every single day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.